What is going on, everyone? So we had another rough day in the market, but some quantum stocks showed some signs of life today. And I want to go into that. We're going to go into price action for D-Wave. We're going to go into price action for Rigetti and IONQ. We're also going to look at some upcoming catalysts and some articles. We're going to cover a lot in this video. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing if you're interested in content like this. Without further ado, let's jump in. All right, let's start with the stock heat map. So it's our favorite color lately, red. We love red. The deeper the red, the better. So we see a couple tech companies, Google and Nvidia, actually ended up in the green, but for the most part, most of the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, all down in the red. All right, now we're going to take a look at our quantum stocks. And look at that. QBTS D-Wave is up 8.5% on the day. Google is up 2.3%. Rigetti, 2%. Poor IONQ just keeps getting beat up down here all the way at $22 a share. And this year it was trading at over $50 a share, which is pretty crazy. And then Intel took a beating today, down 6%. So all right, so with QBTS, we're going to take a look at a 5-day chart. So today we have broken trend. We were steadily working our way down. We had a nice opening candle and some consolidation, and then a really beautiful, just steady march upward, and it held. The market sold off a little bit at the end of the market day, and then we posted an 8.5% gain on the day for D-Wave. If we look back 1 month, we know that D-Wave has been wanting to run. And before the market got really bad, we were sitting over an $8 position. So D-Wave still showing signs of life. As I always point out on this channel, take a look at the volume. We have seen volume decrease, but we have a lot of upcoming catalysts for D-Wave. What catalysts, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. I thought you would never ask. So NVIDIA GTC coming up on March 17th. That's not too long, less than 2 weeks from now. On that panel in GTC, you're going to see Jensen Huang and Alan Baratz, CEO of D-Wave, where we are and where we're headed with quantum computing. And this panel is no joke. We've got QEra, Atom, Microsoft, PsiQuantum, IONQ, Quantinium, Rigetti, the who's who of quantum. So this is going to be a huge catalyst for quantum. And hats off to NVIDIA for organizing this and bringing all of those minds into one place. We also know that coming up, D-Wave has their Qubits 2025 conference, which yours truly will be attending. I'm looking forward to the sunshine in Scottsdale, and I'm looking forward to hopefully attending this conference and bringing back some interesting content for the channel. So stay tuned for that. March 31st through April 1st in Scottsdale, Arizona, a first of its kind conference for D-Wave. Quantum Realized. What's their agenda? Is an annual user conference. Is one of the premier quantum computing events of the year, connecting quantum computing trailblazers and thought leaders from around the world, sharing insights, brainstorming new ideas, and forging lasting relationships, all while enjoying the luxurious amenities at the Phoenician Resort. All right. Rigetti actually gapped down this morning with much of the market. The market opened in very, it wasn't a happy camper with the tariffs. We saw a nice little explosion upward, some consolidation, and then a very nice, consistent rally through the day. Some sell-off at the end of the day, very similar to D-Wave's chart. So we know with Rigetti that they recently partnered with Quanta to boost superconducting quantum computing development. Both companies will invest more than $100 million in the venture. So that's pretty awesome news for Rigetti and for quantum in general. We also know that Rigetti's reporting earnings tomorrow. So we don't know what is going to be in those earnings. Your guess is as good as mine, but hopefully there's a surprise. If there's a surprise in D-Wave's earnings or Rigetti's earnings, that could bode very well for quantum as a sector, especially the small and mid caps. Let's take a look at Tom Lee's thoughts on where we are in the market and if we are at or near a bottom.
Let's bring in Tom Lee, Fundstrat co-founder, managing partner in Fundstrat Capital CIO, and I can just see you. This is Tom playing out exactly as you said. Choppy. You said exactly this. You said choppy for how long, but then the S&P again starts moving, and this is not, I don't think, an obvious or a logical conclusion to have right now with all the bad news that we're hearing about these policies. Everybody thinks the market's headed lower.
Yes, but instead we could be bottoming, maybe this week.
And this is the choppiness you were talking about. And, I think you use a combination of fundamentals and technicals, obviously,
yes,
to get things right.
So I am going to fast forward because I've watched this a couple times, but this is his rationale for the market potentially being at bottom.
And the technical backdrop for bottoming happening this coming week.
Well, I think the best way to define a bottom, and Tom DeMark has mentioned this before, is stocks rise on bad news. And so Friday was maybe the first sign of bad news, the market's bottoming. But I know our technician, Mark Newton, doesn't think we're there yet. He wants to see more signs of exhaustion, but we've seen sentiment turn negative. So maybe Friday, but it could have already bottomed too.
All right. So there you have it. You have Tom Lee with the prediction that perhaps this week market could see a turnaround. And I did see some technical analysis. We are at some key levels on a lot of these stocks. The lower these stocks go, the more buyers are going to step in. I mean, people have made a lot of money in the stock market in the last 2 years. The S&P 500 has posted back-to-back 20% years. And a lot of these stocks are, if you look at it this way, at a deep discount right now. And everyone knows that. Investors know there's a combination of a couple different factors going on. Obviously, investors don't like uncertainty. And there's a lot of uncertainty with current policy in the US. There's a lot of uncertainty with the effects of tariffs. There's a lot of uncertainty in general. But when stocks become so cheap, it becomes quite appealing, even in a market like this, for some buying pressure to come in. All right, we're going to do a quick price analysis on IONQ and then call this a video. So we have IONQ followed a similar pattern, but showed more weakness throughout the day. I don't think Wall Street has quite gotten over the earnings disappointment for IONQ. IONQ, of all the small to mid cap companies, does generate quite a bit of revenue, and the earnings weren't terrible, to be honest. The guidance wasn't terrible either. If we look back at 1 or 2 months of price action, we know that at a certain point, IONQ is selling at $50 a share, and we've had a sell down now where we're actually below the quantum crash price. So there's a couple of ways to look at this. One is IONQ's a terrible company and they deserve to be at this price. Or another way is that's a lot of potential upside, and IONQ is a great company and they're on sale right now, along with many, many other stocks in the stock market. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you do great in the market, and I'm looking forward to hearing the news from the State of the Union tonight and everything else that's going on in the world. Good luck out there.